Heyo, Ben here, and welcome to episode 4 of KSP Season 3, I think it is, something like that. And, yes, we're just doing this, and, this is a probe for the Athena 1. And the Athena missions are the ones I'm using to go to the, Moons of Kerbin. I mean the Moons of Kerbin, because the Moons of Kerbin need exploring. So anyway, the goddess Athena Greek goddess Athena, of course, is the Greek goddess of wisdom, knowledge, that type of thing. And just like law, justice, math, strategy, all sorts of other really cool stuff about knowledge. And so I figure this is a good mission to use as just as a thing. And I just decided to return back down to the planet Kerbin here and do some orbital experiments that were in the service phase. And I think the problem with that is I didn't have reaction wheels. I don't have the right probe core for this. Probes are really unstable unless you have internal torque or something else. Yeah. And Athena has a lot of really cool stuff about her. The city of Athens is actually named for Athena. And yeah, and there's a bunch of other stuff. The Trojan War. I forget which side Athena took, but she took a side, of course. And anyways, we're doing some science, looking to gather. Because I want torque, I decided that I was going to use an Kerbal mission and ignore the Steam update. Yeah. So anyway, we get Gumby ship for the Athena 2 mission. And like I said, these are supposed to go around the moon, the moon, and eventually Minmus. And this one actually does a decent job, except I think I underfueled this one a considerable bit. Yeah, I definitely underfueled it and took a bad launch profile. I also wasn't using the correct thrust. So anyway, like I said, like I've been saying for the past few weeks, I may or may not be getting a job. Actually, I do have a job now, so videos are going to be coming out at a less frequent pace. Or maybe not, I'm not so sure, because I've got something that's a really quick and easy recording that I'm doing tonight. That's the Game of Thrones one. And KSP, I've got a decent backlog, because we all like backlogs. And I'm not really going to talk about my job here, because y'all don't need to know about that, and it's more of a private thing for me. So yeah, I'm doing a little bit of research about space stuff, and as well, and this game is getting a lot better at modeling stuff. And I've got some various things I need to do in order to get it ready. I believe I was having some lag issues there. Yeah. I don't know why I deployed it through there. Oh yeah, because I wanted to bring back as much as I could, and I just didn't want to ditch the, the rocket motor, or the fuel. So I was recovering as much funds as possible. And I successfully land. And of course this is in Kerbin Shores, which is annoying because I'm trying to get more biomes, but I always wind up splashing down either in the shores or in the water, and I've already got the stuff for that. So really what I'm trying to do here with these missions is gain funds so that I can travel to the moon and eventually land on it when I have surface samples, because you almost always want those. Yeah. And that's really about it. So yeah. Oh, spaghetti ship. And I actually find out that this is a lot less spaghetti ship if I just turn off SAS, because I'm going very quickly. But you can't, and that's kind of what you need to do when you have the solid fuel boosters. But yeah. I'm just babbling on it right now. And this is kind of what I'm going to do, and I'm going to explain why I choose the way I do it. I really don't have the patience to learn docking, and at this point I really don't have the time to learn docking, rendezvous and docking. I mean, maybe I will if I force myself to go that route, but like I said, the series goal is to make it to Lathe and have a colony there, which I'm going to say is a couple crew habitation modules, and by a couple I mean about 4, a lab or 2, and some extra fun stuff like maybe a boat, a plane, hey, and be able to take off and land. So I have to be able to ferry crew there and get back. So yeah, and here I'm just planning up a maneuver to, and honestly I could do this myself without the maneuver nodes, but I determined the maneuver node is probably the best option. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to minimize the delta V that I used to get there, and I actually get it to where I'm, what, 739? That's really good. Though probably if I had gone to a circular orbit it'd be closer to 800. So I've already expended a little bit of it. Yeah. And what am I doing here? Oops. And of course I accidentally shot back, so I'm burning a little bit retrograde very slowly. And I've got an encounter, so I'll be happy with it, because the goal of this mission, if I remember correctly, was to just fly by the moon. I'm doing a correction burn, because, and this is actually what the Apollo missions would do, is on their way to the moon, they would typically set up 1 to 3 correction burns to do, because typically there's only a certain number of stable orbits around the moon, so you typically want to get to those. So anyway, I time warp over, and then it's time to do a lot of the moon science. I'm actually getting really good at the EVAs now that I'm in the moon's sphere of influence. I start getting in there and doing all the sciencey stuffs. And I do the EVA report. I start collecting the data. Oop, bumpity bump. And that's the hard part, is getting into the stuff that's in the service bays, especially these small ones. And anyway, I just I shut down the engine. Okay, that's what happened. And what I'm doing is I'm doing my burn here, because I'm trying to get a nice free return trajectory. I'm not sure if they would actually do this, but and time warp goes down, and okay, so it flips around. And since I gather all the signs, I can just wind up doing this. But this is something I know for a fact any of the flybys or whatnot did. I'm pretty sure they didn't do what I'm about to do, which is do a slowdown burn, where I'm trying to bring my velocity down to suborbital, because I was trying to bring my velocity a lot closer to what's to what my heat shield could take, really. I was hoping I would make it to the shores here. Yeah, I did actually make it to the shores. And I really like the camera wobble. Sorry if this is making you sick, but I really like the camera wobble on re-entry. I was just accelerating this for the sake of landing, and I've been doing the time accelerating thing, and I think that's really helps make the videos watchable. I always get worried when that opens as low as it did. So I start gathering all the science, and I try to walk to a new biome because I think I might be able to reach one, but I decide, let's not bother with it. And I enter and I recover a vessel, and I think that's going to be the episode. No, I still got a bunch of science to do. Oh, you know what it is I went into do a bunch of testing stuff. That's what happened. Yeah. Got some science, got some parts. Or was I researching parts? I decided this is what I want. Because I also get, at the time I think that's a SAS module. It's not. So that'll make sense in the next video. And I get this because I want the fairings, because it's really going to help my probes out. I didn't really get it for anything else. Yeah, I probably should have gotten one of those, but I decided against it because fairings. Yeah. pick up the Orbit the Moon contract. I actually start accepting these. Yeah. And I'm just checking deadlines, and reading these, picking these up, like I said, checking the deadlines, checking that. This one's an easy one. Look at the bonus you get for it. And I accept that. And I just wanted to look at those. So, test the skipper engine. And you're going to see these, and